Without further ado, SNL. Woo! SNL returned for its premiere, and it did not disappoint. It parodied, it brought out Matt Damon to parody Brett Kavanaugh, the hearings that obviously took over the entire, I mean, I felt like I was scrounging for Hollywood topics because everything was Kavanaugh this week. I was glued to the TV. Anyway, I want to roll a clip really fast, and then we'll come back of Matt Damon parodying this.
Do you really think you have the right demeanor and temperament to be a Supreme Court justice?
I went to Yale.
He killed it. He absolutely killed it.
Worked my butt off to get here. I busted my buns. I lifted weights. Every day. With Tobin, BJ, and Squee. And Donkey Dog Dog. And yeah, we had a couple thousand beers along the way. Especially my good friend Mark Judge, who can't remember huge chunks of his life, but is somehow my key witness. So am I angry? You're damn right. But if you think I'm angry now, you just wait till I get on that Supreme Court, because then you're all gonna pay.
Okay, let's coming back in from that. So that's a little taste of what we had. Okay, so I just want to start. So what I think, Bianca and Jedidiah, SNL has an easy job right now, because to me, when I was watching that, what most struck me, and I want to hear how you guys feel, it was a heightened version of reality.
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
I mean, it was like down to like the prosecutor and the way they played it out. I mean, you couldn't have been watching the two next to each other on a side-by-side screen and saying like, what is going on?
Yes.
And I love that. And I love that, you know, for decades, SNL, like you got to give it to Lorne Michaels, because this show really is, you know, capturing the zeitgeist of what's happening. And that is incredible. And as someone who once had a show that went up against SNL, you know.
Oh, wow.
And,
that's not a fun stuff. That's not a fun task.
I was like, I'll take that. But, you know, we beat them a few times when they were in repeats. But what this show does, it is a reflection of society. And, you know, I was watching it and I thought Damon just like nailed it, and we were laughing so hard. But I mean, you know, it made me think about the hearing and like, what was Kavanaugh thinking? Like, he should have probably been plugging like Anheuser-Busch or something, because when he's going to need work in a few weeks, he's gonna have to fall back on like what, influencer marketing or something.
Speaking of that, we were
lost opportunity.
We were trying to guess what kind of beer we thought he drank. That's at that point.
It sounds like all. I mean, it sounds like all, and I agree completely. SNL. I mean, if you want to save yourself some time, they just summed up the whole story for you.
Yes.
Literally just watch their clip, which is way more entertaining, and you'll get a whole picture of the story. I was dying laughing. Absolutely dying laughing.
So Trump obviously spoke out and said, Anita, that SNL's just one big commercial for the Democratic Party. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's certainly a left-leaning show, but it really does capture the essence of what's happening on the political scene and culturally in America.
Yeah.
And this show, I think it's a little tired.
Yeah.
But last night's season premiere, 44th season, if you can believe that, it felt like there was new energy there. So I was really excited when I watched it.
Yeah, me too. Do you think, though, that because SNL being a parody skit show, comedy, like, they have all the leeway in the world, or, and this goes to you too, do you think that even comedy should toe a line? Where they almost are too left-leaning?
No.
I mean, that's freedom of speech. That's First Amendment right there.
Yeah.
Like, if they're crossing the line, their viewers will let them know. They'll lose viewers if they're you know.
Yeah,
so,
no, they've only gone up.
Yeah.
I mean, the show definitely gets bashed for being too left-leaning, but then if you look at the ratings from last night, they improved on the year before the season premiere. So people are watching.
Well, I mean, the cast is phenomenal. You know, we just saw the Emmys recently, which I, you know, got to you know, kind of, you know, enjoy, and, you know, as many of us in Hollywood cover and just sort of like sit back and look at the cast and how great it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, they have to be provocative. If that show doesn't push the envelope, if it doesn't skew almost like borderline, you know, controversial, you're not going to watch. It's Saturday night, 11:30.
That's why people
go there.
Yeah. What I love about it, though, as a content creator myself, as a producer, we need moments in television that are magical and unpredictable, which I think you do really well here.
Thank you.
The bottom line is, it's like TV has become very predictable. Reboots, which I know we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
So I give it up to them for actually saying, you know what, let's just really be racy. And it shows that it is the magic of television still is alive and well. It's provocative. It's profitable. unpredictable, and it's thought-provoking.
But
We're all
speaking
talking
of
about it.
unpredictable, but I don't know if they wanted the kind of unpredictable that Kanye brought to the stage.
No one does.
So let's talk about that. Because basically Kanye came back, and I have so many questions about this, because I want to know if Lorne Michaels is just being smart because he knows it's guaranteed press, or if like this was supposed to be a redemption. Because when you're reading the article about how following the 2 songs that they normally perform, and he did this surprise 3rd song, they were supposedly he came out with the MAGA, Make America Great Again, and he's making this speech rambling about Trump this, Trump that, supporting Trump, and then I think even about his own. It was like a bizarre lecture even about him potentially running, correct?
There was some of everything. So first of all, Ariana Grande was originally booked, and she's going through some personal things. So she bowed out. Kanye stepped in graciously, according to Lorne Michaels. The thing is with Kanye cannot be controlled. We've seen that time and time again, and so
which pairs him well with Trump.
Pairs him well with Trump. I mean, the thing is, we know, I tuned in only because of Kanye.
Yeah.
I knew it would be unusual. I knew Kanye would be provocative, and I got I got more than I was expecting.
Sure.
But a lot of people tuned in. The ratings were great. So a lot of people tuned in to see what Kanye would do. And, Adam Driver hosted, so I'm sure a lot of people tuned in for him, too.
Let's just run a little bit of this clip that we have queued of him when he came out, and then we'll come back on the other side and talk about it.
Black man in America, supposed to keep what you feel inside right now. And the liberals, blacks weren't always Democrats. It's like a plan they did to take the fathers out of the home and promote welfare. Does anybody know about that? That's a Democratic plan. And so many times I talk to a white person about this, and they say, how could you like Trump? He's racist. Well, if I was concerned about racism, I would have moved out of America a long time ago. We don't just make out a soldier. And that inspires me. And when I said I'm running 2020, all my smart friends, now you got a situation where we need to have a dialogue and not a diatribe. Because if you want something to change, it's not going to...
Okay, so... Oh my God. So here's what I wanted to see. Remember what was the award show when he was like, George Bush does not care about black people. It's like Kanye West does not care about black people either. Because it's like
or
this
people,
stuff... Or people, period. It's like... He's saying, it's just diametrically opposed. He's saying not a diatribe. Says the guy who went into TMZ's newsroom and was like preaching about like how slavery was a choice and all this other stuff. The thing that I can't fathom is like why he continues to do you think he just wants the press and the attention, or does he believe what he's saying?
I think it's a little of both. I think we knew something like this was going to happen. You don't book Kanye and think it's going to be like PBS, right? So you know he's going to do something.
But it worked. They got viewers.
They got viewers. And I think, Kanye's trying to make Kanye great again. Listen, he's got $1.5 billion in the bank. He's got Yeezy. It's all calculated, I think. I think he really does believe what he's saying.
Yeah.
But I think he knows that people will come against him, and I don't think he cares. He's like, you know what? I'm here to be this very divisive voice, and he's gonna do it full throttle. And when's he gonna lose his edge? I'm just wondering, when's he gonna kind of be like, oh, you remember when Kanye was sort of edgy and now he's not so we're gonna give him 2 years?
Yeah, it'll get tired. He'll keep on saying dumb things, and finally people will just be like,
Kanye has admitted he has mental health issues, and he doesn't always take his medication. I'm not going to speculate on what happened last night, but he almost appeared unhinged. It was a little, the final performance, the first performance was a little strange, and it just got weirder as the night wore on. The final performance, through the credits, I didn't even know what to think. And then when he started talking after the show ended and people put the clips on YouTube, it was troubling. And so this rant, he even talked about the critics who say he's in the sunken place. I've never seen anything like it, and I wish someone would step in.
But the thing you just said, yes. So speaking of the mental illness part, but this is where I think I have family members or close friends that also suffer with. I feel like he makes a mockery of mental illness, actually, because he goes through these phases where it's like he's almost using like, I'm going to be crazy and say things, and then it's going to be like blamed on my. It's just sort of so inconsistent. I'm like, is it marketing and being strategic, or are you actually mentally ill when you're saying half these things? Like Candace Owens, the conservative commentator, was retweeting all of his quotes and then like putting her own comments saying it was like he had said something in it about we need to have a dialogue because 90% of media and TV is liberal, and it's like, oh, the media and TV that you and your wife used to basically build your entire career, now it's all of a sudden, no, they're so bad, they're so liberal. It's just, he speaks out of both sides of his mouth.
He does, but does anybody in the world really take Kanye seriously?
That's what I want to know, though. But
I don't know anyone who takes what he says seriously.
But he's been on the record also saying that musicians, he can never be controlled. He'll never be controlled. He doesn't have people around him. You know,
well, he's dropped all his, like, right, isn't he managing himself? He dropped his, he doesn't have a publicist anymore.
Exactly, Joseph. So he is obviously making deliberate actions to do his own thing. And he also was on record saying, you know, that he thinks musicians are brands. And that, you know, so I think he does see himself as sort of this, not just a music person, but like something bigger than that. So I think a lot of this, I think it's calculated. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. I really do. And that's why I went over today where he's still talking about it, because he knows it's still feeding the media.
Well, I don't know if it's calculated. I mean, he thrives on the attention, but my question is, how much longer are his fans going to put up with it? How much longer will they continue to support him and buy his music and his fashions and his, doesn't he have sneakers?
Yeah, Yeezys.
Yeah, so
I have a pair.
I mean, who's buying the stuff, and how much longer will they continue to do it?
That's the question, because Kanye won't. I always say this too about the Kardashians. The Kardashians are never going to go away, and they're going to keep multiplying until the media collectively is like, why are we covering such, like, I made a point when I ran news sites that we cover the Kardashians in the context of actual news about them. Which, guess what? I never covered the Kardashians.
Right, it went minimal.
There wasn't news. It was like, did they, if they got arrested, if they, you know, something which they never did. But I'm saying like actual news, not like Kylie got a new lip kit or like Kim injected her behind. It's like that's not news in the grand scheme of the world. So the way that Kanye, you're absolutely right. It's like media keeps covering because it gets hits, and people love to. Sadly, people like to watch a train wreck. You know, you can't look away.
You're not gonna look away.
But it's like it comes down to the consumers of like, stop supporting him, stop supporting his music. But by the way, I don't think the whoop diddy poop, like actually that song took off, did it?
Even with that catchy name? Even with that catchy name?
And he also said that Lord Michaels invited him back again. So he's inciting. Wow. That's what I'm saying. He's smart enough to say, oh, he knows what happened. He knows his reaction, that Trump's reacting to it. He's like, Lauren even asked me back for a second time. He is the puppet master here, going like, how many hits can we get? Who's going to talk about it?
I think you're giving Kanye way too much credit.
Maybe, I don't know, but I think that he's a smart guy. Politics aside.
Yeah, I would totally have to disagree with that. Smart guy. Did you watch him on TMZ Live? Like that was a
Politics aside, I think he's manipulating for monetary gain. That's what I'm saying. He's someone who's got a lot of money in the bank, like the Kardashians. I'm not saying you agree with his politics. I'm saying we're talking about him right now. So in a way, we have to actually go back and say, like, maybe we don't acknowledge the disgusting things we don't believe in, and because we can't give it credence anymore.
Well, because this is what also, he continued this craziness off SNL on Twitter this morning about the 13th Amendment being, what did he say, he wants it abolished?
Yeah, and that's like, really? You know, like, have you read it? Do you know what that is?
It's almost like if he's not strategic, and he's out crazying himself with every tweet and every move. I mean,
it's disappointing because I think Kanye is one of the most talented musicians out there. Yes. Well, not musician, but entertainers, performers. And he writes interesting lyrics, he writes good music, but we're distracted by the other things that he says and does, and the artistry gets lost in the shuffle. So I think it's unfortunate. I just want Kanye to get back on track. I want to see the college dropout Kanye.
I don't think he cares, though. Do you think he cares anymore? Because you're right.
He probably doesn't care, but I'm never going to buy anything he puts out.
Me neither. Sure. And I want Gold Digger Kanye. And I actually have friends where I'm like, I refuse to do not play or download new stuff because I'm not supporting this brand of crazy right now. It's just, it's. But by the way, But I do pray for him. If this is mental illness and that's strictly, and he's like off his meds or whatever the heck's going on, I do pray for him in that respect. But if this is all calculated and just using sort of like playing to the Trump base because what he's going to run as a Republican after he's going to be the Trump heir apparent, I mean, that's kind of great. One crazy for another crazy, but it's just sort of like, I just think it's gotten way over. I would not, if I was Lorne Michaels, you shouldn't be having him back. Like,
and I don't even know if that's real, but him
Yeah.
throwing it out there, knowing it could incite, everyone was like, well, we can't even imagine what we just took last night. How is he even saying it's going to happen again?
Well, anyway, we're thankful that SNL's back because I'll have stuff to talk about now every Sunday.
You're set.
Right. You're set.
So, moving on to our next topic.